Is there a real risk of all handpump failing in a city at the same time? Let's find out. Handpump may not work if there are valves problems or drying out of chamber. But here we are concerned with more serious issue, and this cannot be repaired and affect all handpumps in a location. To understand this, we first need a basic understanding of working of handpumps. A common handpump either works on the principle of suction or on the principle of lift. Here, we are looking the case of suction handpump. These work by creating a vacuum to force the water upward by combined work of two valves, which are foot valve and piston valve. The strainer pipe is either in the shallow water bearing layer or in deep water bearing layer. The strainer is slotted pipe from where water enters into the pipe. This water now gets raised up to the groundwater table level. Now, we know how does a suction type handpump works, but there is a limit up to which water can be sucked through the ground, that is the suction limit, which is around 10 meters. This means that the pumping by handpump or by motor can lift water from a well or other water source that is located up to 10 meters, but practically possible only up to 9 meters. This limit gets even less in higher altitude as air pressure is decreased. Now, let's look at the groundwater level of the Birgunj metropolitan city, which lies in the Parsa district, a flat region or Terai of Nepal. In a study conducted by JICA, which measured the groundwater table of different locations of Birgunj in dry season, it was found that the groundwater table is low in the core city area. The groundwater table was found as low as 8.35 meters in Birgunj and low in Adarshnagar area and Bus Park area. We cannot generalize this as there is only single data, but if this is the general scenario of the city, then this is not good for suction type handpumps and there is risk of failure. As the suction limit is around 9.5 meters and groundwater is as low as 8.35 meters. If the groundwater falls just by a meter, then it will be theoretically and practically impossible to lift water by handpump even using high-power motor. The blue circle shows the critical water table that may be in the risk of failure of handpump all at once in extreme dry weather. But, again with insufficient data, we may only make a guess. It is said that groundwater has been dropping year by year, but no specific study has been made to determine the depletion rate, and groundwater monitoring data are also not present. But it is true that suction pump cannot lift water more than 9.5 meters, so it is a matter for concern in these areas. One might think that he have a handpump dug more than 200 feet or 70 meters, but once the groundwater falls below 9.5 meters, then handpump will not operate at very high depths also, unless it is a confined aquifer, which here is not the case. In such condition also, submersible pump can lift water which are used in water supply projects, as they lift the water, and lift can be done up to any heights that depends upon capacity of pumps. All over Nepal, only suction handpumps are used, but in India, both suction and lift handpumps are used. We know suction handpump, but what is a lift handpump? This lift type handpump has a rod up to the bottom and a cylinder from where lifting of water is done, unlike the suction handpump where the suction cylinder is at top. These type of handpump is known as India Mark II and works for lifting water, where groundwater is as low as 40 meters. In India these type of handpump are common, but in Nepal, it is not present as groundwater is generally near ground level. Thus suction pump limit is 9.5 meters, whereas the lift type India Mark II pump can lift water from very below. So, in Birgunj, if the groundwater continues to fall, all handpump may need to be replaced by lift type. There are other bad consequences as well for the dropping of groundwater table other than mass failure of suction handpumps. So climate change needs to be addressed, and Churya area, which is the recharge area of Terai of Nepal, should be protected. If the groundwater goes down, the piped water supply through submersible pump in urban city and lift type India Mark II in village should be preferred as possible solution. Study of the groundwater is essential to address the issue of climate change, and any city should be well prepared for any scenario.
Freebeats.io